Hey everybody, it's Benita. Listen, I hope you guys are having a really good day. Hope your week is being really good to you so far. Hope you're being kind to one another. Hope someone is being kind to you as well. I want to just give you a quick little encouragement, if you will. And sometimes when we're going through things ourselves, it's a little difficult to try to find words to encourage someone else because we feel so overwhelmed and so bogged down by the things that we're going through personally. It's really difficult to find the words to say to encourage someone else. Well, that's not the case here. Some of you remember, those of you that are regular followers or what have you, you guys remember on January 18th, I lost my home, lost my apartment where I was living, due to me just being ill for so long. I do have two different types of brain tumors that I've had numerous surgeries for both of them. The unfortunate thing, they can't operate on both of them at the same time because that would be too much trauma on my body. So they have to operate on one. We wait about 5-6 months, then we go back and operate on the other. That's how that's done. So when one grew back, the other grew back. So we had to repeat those surgeries, and so it's been 12 years, and I've had about 10 surgeries and procedures altogether, maybe 12. I'm not sure. I lost count. But at the end of the day, I held on to everything as long as I could with what I had coming in. And so it just got to the point when they raised my rent to $2,200, from $1,800 to $2,200. That was a big hike for us. So I just couldn't do it anymore. So I lost that apartment, which put me in a homeless category. So we're at a hotel. We've been staying at this particular hotel since January 18th. And it's been hard paying for it because it's just hard paying for it, because it's either a day-by-day, week, or monthly thing you have to do. And it adds up. The unfortunate thing, you don't have a lot of space. You can't buy a lot of food at one time. There's no oven. It's just two little eyes that you cook on. Really small refrigerator. So you guys know how I like to meal prep and all that kind of stuff. I can do a little bit at a time, but not as much as I used to do. So those are just some of the little inconveniences, but thankfully we're not outside, but we are considered homeless, and I'm not going to not be honest about that. And that's what I want to tell you today. Whatever your situation is, just walk in your truth. Be honest about it. Don't allow people's opinions of what you're going through make you get out of a place of truth, because truth has the ability, truth has the power to cause you to be free. And I get it. I don't look homeless. I don't sound homeless. I don't dress homeless. But I tell people that's the grace of God. I don't even look like I've been dealing with two different types of brain tumors for the past 12 years. But I have, and still is. I'm still in treatment. In fact, I have to keep my treatment medication with me because at any time, I have to make sure, if I feel, these are my treatment meds. This is one of them. I have to keep these with me at all times. Sometimes I get tired of taking them, I'm gonna be honest, and I slack off from taking them. And then my head goes into several spins to tell me, hey, you're not doing right. Then I have to keep these with me. These are my nausea pills. Anybody know anything about going through radiation and all of that? I have to keep nausea pills with me. So I'm going to continue to walk in my truth, live in my truth. I'm not going to say I'm not homeless, because I am. And if that bothers someone to hear me say that, then that's not going to change the truth that I'm going to walk in. I'm going to continue to walk in my truth, because I'm not going to start lying. I refuse to do that. I've been transparent ever since day one. From the first stroke I had in 2012, I've been very transparent about my journey. There is no way I would come this far and start lying to people now. I don't care if people don't believe what I'm saying. What I do care about, in my heart, I have to know that I'm doing the right thing. I have to know that I'm saying the right thing. And so I get it. I get those of you that say, well, maybe you shouldn't say that. Maybe you shouldn't say this. Or maybe you shouldn't qualify it as this. Maybe you should say it as something else. Well, if I call it something else, then that's not the truth. You know, I can't say I was displaced, because I wasn't. Displacement means that something happened to move me from one place to another, like a hurricane, a flood, or, you know, things of that nature. Anything having to do with the act of God, or, you know, stuff like that. That's not true. That's not my truth, because then next you'll be suggesting, well, why don't you go through Red Cross or FEMA or this and that? I'm not going to do that, you know. And so I was told that, and I shared this with you before, I was told that I would be more believable if I said I was displaced. But that's not the truth. I'm not displaced. I'm homeless. You know, a hotel is not a home. You know, a hotel is just what it is. It's a hotel. My home was my home. And so to be homeless means you're without a home, you know. And for anyone to suggest I say anything other than the truth, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I have a GoFundMe page set up, and sometimes people use that as a basis to introduce what they feel about my situation or whatever. You know, well, maybe people will donate more to your GoFundMe if you didn't say you were homeless, if you said you were something else. I'm not gonna lie. That's not what I do. I haven't done that. I'm not gonna start doing it. So people can stop suggesting that I do that, because I'm just not gonna do it. I feel like this. When you see my GoFundMe page, you see all the pictures and videos, you know it's me. Some of you probably can't tell it's me, because I'm much, much larger and I'm much, much darker. You know, no, I haven't bleached my skin. No, I haven't had any cosmetic surgery. All the surgeries I've had has to deal with the 2 different types of brain tumors that I have. Period. That's it. Nothing else. So I just wanted to encourage you. I mean, like, whatever your truth is, live your truth. Walk in your truth. Don't allow people to get you to move outside of that realm of truth, because like I said, when you walk in truth, you're going to be free. I don't care what it looks like right now. As long as you walk in what's true, you're going to come out. I know I'm coming out of this hotel. I know I'm going into a home. I'm manifesting it. I'm believing it. I'm walking in truth. I'm walking in faith. And there's nothing anybody can tell me that's going to make me start lying. To get benefits, to get this, or I'm not going to do it. Okay, this is part 2. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay in faith, stay in prayer, and stay honest. I'm just going to stay honest about it all. And if my truth bothers you, stop following me in my journey. because I'm not going to change. I'm not going to start saying something that's not, you know. And if you follow me for any amount of time, come on, guys, you should know better than that. You should know better to even suggest that to someone like me. You know, I've come this far by faith. You know, you have to have walked with me. The strokes while I'm asleep, the massive nosebleeds, the hemorrhaging, you know, the blood transfusions I've had to have. You just don't know. Learning how to walk, having to be strapped to a walker to learn how to walk again, all of that stuff. There is no way I'm going to come through all of that and then start lying to get benefits or to get whatever. I'm just not going to do it. And I want to encourage you, as ugly as your truth might be, tell it. Tell your truth. As unbelievable as your truth might seem, tell it. Your truth is not really for someone to believe. For me, this is my thing. My truth really is between me and God. Some of you just get to be a part. You're fortunate to get to be a part of the external, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Some of you guys get to be beneficiaries of the external factors of the the internal relationship that I have with God. It has nothing to do with how righteous I am, how saved, how anointed. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with my relationship with him. And because I've trusted him for 56 years to keep me, 57 come August, Leo, I've trusted God. What make you think I'm going to get over here in a hotel now, in a homeless situation, and start lying? I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm sorry y'all feel like I shouldn't say what's true, but I'm going to tell my truth. And perhaps my truth will hold someone else up, will prop someone else up to say, you know what, I'm going through the same thing, or I'm about to lose my home, and I've been so afraid, I've been embarrassed. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but you'll get over it. Let me tell you something. I literally thought I would die. And even my therapist had me on suicide watch. Seriously. Instead of me seeing her once a month, I have to see her once a week now. Because I've had a history of suicide attempts before. That is my truth. And so she was worried about me when I lost my home, because she knows I've worked really hard for the things I have. No one gave me anything. Not a man, not a friend, no one gave me anything. I've worked hard for everything I have. I paid my Jeep off. I did that, you know. I paid every payment on time, you know. And now I'm sitting here with a paid off Jeep, and I just hit 70,000, 15 miles on it, you know. So I can't disqualify what God has done, what he is doing, and what he's going to do in my life. I can't disqualify that by starting to make up stuff and lie now. I can't. If I start saying, well, I'm displaced just to get benefits here and there, do you not understand how out of place that's going to put me for what God really has in store for me? No, 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 no. You think I've come this far by faith and then gonna get out of faith and start lying? No, I'm not gonna do that. If my truth offends you, stop listening to it. But I'm not gonna stop telling my truth. I'm not. And I encourage you, You may not be as vocal as I am about your truth. You may not be, it may not be for you to be a public person like I am, on a public platform and on as many public platforms as I'm on. That may not be your thing. But in your heart and the people around you, don't let anybody talk you into getting out of your truth. Because your truth, not only is it going to cause you to be free, but your truth can cause other people to be free. Because you don't really know. I think sometimes we get so used to putting on the face and the facade, we really don't know what the next person is going through. Who in the world would believe that I'm actually homeless? Yeah, I'm sitting in my Jeep at the hotel, getting ready to go in as soon as I finish making this video. So who would believe that? Nobody. But it's true. That's what it's called. If you're without a home, you're homeless. So don't tell me about, oh, you seen people on the street. You seen people sleeping up under the bridge. You seen that. Now that's homeless. We all homeless. But the only difference is where we sleeping. I'm sleeping in a hotel. They're sleeping under the bridge. But baby, ain't neither one of us got a house. Ain't neither one of us got a home. So we both homeless. Y'all ain't gonna get me out of faith with God. No ma'am, no sir. No ma'am and no sir. I'm not going to do that. Either people are going to give according to their heart or not. You know, every time I make a video, I try to push my GoFundMe. Go to GoFundMe.com, type in my name, Denita Bradley. You can read my story. It's a summary on each step of my journey. There's videos, there's pictures, and if you can see all that and then turn around and say, well, she don't look like nothing wrong with her. Well, she don't look like she homeless. If you can go see all of that information I got there, all that validation I got there, something is wrong with you. I'm not the problem. Something wrong with you. Okay? So just know I'm not going to get out of faith. I'm not going to tell a lie. I'm not going to change my wording. I'm not going to change my wording. Can I say it again? I'm not going to change my wording. I refuse to say that I was displaced. I was not displaced. I am considered homeless. I'm not going to do that. I have a valid GoFundMe page up. My journey is valid. The videos, the pictures, everything I have said to you guys has been the truth. And I'm not going to start lying for anyone to feel more comfortable for their lack of faith. You see what I'm saying? It's a lack of faith. You don't know how much faith it takes me to live, hear this, to live with something that has killed most people. I'll say that again. You don't know what it takes for me to live with something that has killed most people. And do you think I'm going to get out of truth now and start lying just to get benefits? No, baby. They raised my rent from $1,800 to $2,200. I just couldn't afford to pay it no more. And I lost my home. Therefore, I am homeless. I'm not displaced. Hadn't been through a storm. I have not been through a hurricane, tornado, flood, none of that. There's nothing anybody can make me say just so I can move the needle closer to where I need it to be. I'm not going to do that. And I want to encourage you, whatever your truth is, don't you let anybody make you say anything different than what's true. Because see, what'll happen is, let's just say this. What if God allowed that situation to come because he knew that otherwise, I'm going to use me so nobody won't think I'm talking about them. This is what I keep thinking. Okay, Benita, you know you would have never really left that apartment because you was comfortable, you was paying your bills on time, you know, you bought something, you paid it off, everything was good. So the only way, this is me talking to me, the only way you was gonna leave, God had to do something. God had to intervene. Now this came months after it happened. It happened in January, so I'm just really getting to the point where I'm starting to understand a little bit of how God is maneuvering me. So then I have to say, what if this is the way that God chose to bring you to get your home? And I have to stop. I have to stop fidgeting. I have to stop crying. I have to stop, oh, why me, why me? And then I have to think rationally. You know what, God? You're right. You're right. You know what I want. I know what you promised. And the only way those two things are going to come together, one of us had to make a move. And God, you knew I wasn't going to move on my own. So you had to trouble the water a little bit so that I would move. I had no choice. And that is not to say any of this is God's fault. I don't want you to misunderstand, because I don't want anybody to false accuse God. You understand what I'm saying? As if he's unjust, he's unkind, he's uncaring, he's unloving. He has no clue what's going on. Because I don't believe that. I believe that God orchestrates. Again, I'm going to speak for myself. I believe that God strategically orchestrates every step of my life. That's what I believe. I don't care how ugly things get. I don't care how much I have to cry. I don't care how many extra sessions I have to have with my therapist. I still believe that God has strategically ordered my steps. And day by day by day, even if I'm dealing with depression, God is still there with me, strategically ordering things around that I don't even know moving. While I'm laying in the bed crying, God is moving things around I don't even see, I don't even know about. Why? Because me and God got a relationship, you know. We have a special relationship. I can't speak for nobody else. And some of you might be saying, well, you ain't no better than... Child, you can have all that talk. I'm talking for real. I'm living proof. I'm living proof. I was talking to a dear friend of mine last night, and I was saying how often we pray for miracles, signs, and wonders, but then when God does that, we still don't believe it. You're looking at a walking, talking, touchable miracle. People say, oh, I'm going to pray for you a miracle. God's going to give you a miracle. And I understand what you mean when you say that. I don't need God to give me a miracle. You know why? Because I'm the miracle. He made me the miracle for the world to see. It's unfortunate that the black church don't accept it that way. Maybe it's because it's me. I don't care. You got to talk to God about that. But here I am. Here I am. Some of you that know me, some of you that know people who've had the same type brain tumors, you know they died. And yet you still won't lift a finger to support anything I do. And that's fine, because that's your prerogative. But it does not change God strategically ordering my steps. I want you all to get into a position Get into a place with God that you know, no matter what it looks like, all hell breaking loose around you. But you know somewhere in that whirlwind of hell and chaos and turmoil, you gotta know that God is yet somewhere strategically ordering your steps. He's moving things around that you don't even know could have been stumbling blocks. You see what I'm saying? I have been calling I used to make crazy money before I got sick. Crazy money. And I owed the IRS some money. So today I called and I called the IRS and they put me through collections with the IRS. You know, the IRS got their own collection agency right there. So they put me through with the collection department. And so we were on the phone for a while. She checked. It came back 0 liability, 0 balance. I said, ma'am, can you please check again? She checked again. She said, ma'am, I'm telling you, I'm reading your file. 0 liability, 0 balance. I said, what does that mean? She said, that means whatever you did owe back in 2010, we can no longer collect that from you. She said, even the IRS has a limit on how long they can try to collect from you. I said, well, let me ask you a question. I said, is this something that the IRS might give to a collection agency and the collection agency can come after me? I was asking serious questions. Y'all might act like y'all know stuff. I don't. I can't pretend like that. She said, ma'am, you're talking to the IRS collection. She said, and I'm telling you, there is 0 liability and 0 balance. Child, I hung up that phone and I was shouting around in that hotel room. I sure was. Because again, you never know what God is doing when so much else is going on, you know. And I think that's really the plan of the enemy, to keep us so focused on the storm, so focused on the turmoil, till we don't even recognize, you know, that God is still with us. You know what I mean? And I just want to encourage you, walk in your truth, living yourself a truth. If somebody asks you, don't start making up stuff. Don't make up lies to get benefits. If you're homeless, say you're homeless. If you got displaced, then say that. Whatever you do, walk in truth. Don't start lying just because somebody told you, well, you can get this if you say this. I'm not doing that. You want to bless me? Go to GoFundMe.com. Type in my name, Benita, Benita, Bradley, Bradley. And you can donate. That's how you be a blessing. But to suggest that I stop saying that I'm homeless and start saying that, oh, I was displaced or something else, I'm not doing that. And I encourage all of you, whatever you do, stay in truth, stay in faith, because all of that is going to be your key to freedom, okay? All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.